All right, so you've got some low back pain. Here are a few exercises that are gonna greatly help you reduce your low back pain. All you're gonna need for this are 2 lacrosse balls, ideally. If you don't have any lacrosse balls, just go grab some tennis balls. That will work really well as well. If you don't have any with you, then just go ahead and pause this video, go grab them, and then start it again once you've got them. And then you're also gonna need a mat. That's it. Okay, so low back pain. A lot of low back pain comes from the muscles that are on either side of your spine, so the ones right in here. And if you were to turn around and feel into those, chances are that's where a lot of the pain is coming from. So those are the ones that we're gonna target. So we're gonna start on a space on your wall first. So grab just one of your lacrosse balls to start. And what I want you to do with this is we're gonna start with it, we're gonna do some rolling. So we're gonna start with the lacrosse ball at the very base of your back. So you're not quite on your hip bone yet, you're just above the hip bone. And just to the side of your spine. So my spine's here, we're going just to the side of it like that. So that's where I want you to start with the ball, and then you can lean against the wall and take a little bit of a step out. And you'll already feel from here that there's some pressure pressing into your low back. The further out you step, the more intense the pressure is gonna be. So just if it's feeling really tender, don't step out too far to start. From there, all I want you to do is take a few squats down and up. So as you squat down, you'll feel the ball roll up and down your back. You may have to adjust as the ball likes to sometimes go askew. We'll do about 10 rolls here on this right side to start. This is just starting to get into the muscles, feels like a massage as you're doing these. And then from here, the next thing I want you to do, so you've got the muscles on your back that we're targeting now, and then you've got the muscles that are a little bit underneath them that you can only really access by coming in from the side. So starting again with the ball at the lower part of your back, just like you were a moment ago, I want you to twist out. So if you're on the right side with your ball, twist out to the right just a little bit, and then facing at this sort of 45-degree angle, do more squats like that. So now you've got the ball coming at those same muscles just underneath them a little bit. About 10 squats here as well. If this is feeling like it's enough, great. If you want this to be a little bit more intense, take about an inch step out away from the wall. So we started with the muscles that were coming kind of here, up and down, and then we went to the muscles that are underneath, so pressing sort of from the side here at those same muscles. Let's do the other thing, the same thing on the other side now. So left side, about 10 squats. Just breathing through this. This should feel like a nice massage. But you really do want to dig into these muscles. This is such a great way to start to loosen them up. A lot of times when we're sitting a lot during the day, the low back muscles just get tighter and tighter, so it's a really nice way to loosen them. Okay, after you've done about 10 squats, pressing straight on, then we'll do the 45-degree twist. This time, if the ball is on the left, you're twisting to the left a little bit. Squatting there as well. And you can do more than 10 if this is feeling really good. You can stay here for a little while and really dig into this. And you can go a little bit slower if you've got certain spots that are feeling really aggravated and this is feeling good to massage them in this way. Then you can go slow, you can press into them. You can take your time with it. Okay, so that's the first 2 things we can do to relieve your low back pain, and probably you're already feeling like you've got some looseness in there compared to when you started a moment ago. Next, let's go to the mat. So first, lie down on your back and bring your feet up so that your feet are flat on the ground. Then take your 2 lacrosse balls or tennis balls if you're using them, and let's put them under your back, just at that same exact spot that you started with them on the wall. So it should be the lowest part of your back, 1 ball on either side of your spine. Spine in the middle and a ball on either side. From here, you may feel like this is a lot of pressure here, and if this feels good, you can stay right there. If you're looking to go a little bit further, then you can start some marching. So just bring your right knee up, and then your left knee up. And then the right knee up, and the left knee up. Just going back and forth. So whenever you get a massage, if you've ever gotten a massage and you're lying face down, and the massage therapist is pressing his or her thumbs up those muscles on either side of your spine, this is like doing the opposite, right? Instead of the massage therapist pushing up against your muscles, which are staying still, now you're moving the muscles underneath the pressure. This is what the marching is doing. Okay, you can keep going with those if it feels good. Here's the next step. So this is going to feel like considerably more pressure. If you're ready for this, let's do it. If not, you can just skip this part. So bring one knee up, and then you might want to hold on for just a little bit of help, and then bring the other knee up as well. So now you've got both of them, both knees up, and the balls on either side of your spine. And then, if you're ready for the next step beyond that, just do a little rock side to side. So now you're really digging into those muscles. Remember to breathe as you do this. Just let the muscles relax. Let them start to let go here. If it feels good to just hold on here and let your muscles kind of sink into the balls, that's totally fine too. And next, let's just carefully let one foot down and then the other. Okay, so next one, we're gonna get a little bit more movement into the low back. So you can keep the balls where they're at, or you can always move them up an inch or down an inch if where they're at currently isn't exactly where you're getting the most pain. So keeping both balls underneath, let's start by bringing your right knee up, and then I want you to bring it out to the side and around. Straighten the leg all the way, and then do that again. So up, out, and around. It's like we're tracing a letter D with the foot. So we'll do about 5 on each side here. If you want to do more, then go for it. We'll switch to the other side. Same thing, up, out, and around. You really want to bring the knee out as well, so you get some rotation within the hip. And you can go slow if that feels better as well. I wouldn't go any faster than the pace that I'm doing here. Abs stay flexed as you're doing this. And then next, let's move up just an inch here. So just lift the hips up a little and move the balls up an inch. And then we'll do the same thing. So you're starting to feel it a little bit higher into your back. And you could do this on like 5 different places on your low back if it feels good, just moving up 1 inch at a time, just getting a lot more mobility into your low back. We'll just do 2 in this video. Breathing as you do this. Excellent. Okay, from here, let's remove the balls. And next we're gonna loosen the muscles in the sides of your hips. So this is a really effective way to loosen your back muscles, even though we're targeting more towards the hips. So let me show you first the muscles that we're actually going to be focusing on, trying to get to here, and then we'll lie down and do it. So if you were to sit and then you feel into where your hip bones are, the front of your hip bones, the muscles that we're targeting are right behind there. Okay, so these muscles that are right in the side of your hips here. For this one, we'll just need 1 ball. And let's start out lying on your right side. So elbow should be right under the shoulder rather than having it pretty far out. So keep it pretty close in. And then you're gonna put your left foot on the ground and keep your right leg pretty straight. This left foot is going to help us determine how much pressure we have down on the ball, which is gonna be really, really helpful. So then take the ball, and I want you to just put it right underneath where your hip was, right at that same spot that I was pointing to a moment ago. And if you can't quite find where we're supposed to be here, chances are you'll find it just by rolling around a little bit, and then you'll feel like, ooh, that's where that spot is, right? There's a little bit of pressure there. That's where we want to target. So this is the muscle called your TFL. This does a lot of work anytime we're walking or lifting our knee up, we're running, we're doing a lot of the exercises we do in our circuit classes. So start out by just lying here, let the muscle relax a little bit. And then when you're ready, you can press into your left foot a little bit, lift up just a tiny bit so that you can roll back and forth. And if you want more pressure, then just don't push up quite so much with this left foot. A little bit of rolling front to back here. If it feels good to just stay on one spot, that's totally fine too. And again, this isn't one that you can definitely come back to. And then let's switch over to the other side. Sometimes if my back is really, really tight, I just stay on this loosening technique for a long time, 5 minutes or so on each side. So same thing on the other side, just switching. Sit there for a moment, let that muscle kind of sink into the ball. Trying not to let the muscles resist. And then start a little rolling back and forth. We'll do about 10 rolls on this side. All right. So, should feel like you've got a little bit looser hips now. One last note that I'll make is the low back, that's where you may be feeling a lot of your pain, but a lot of the pain is probably being caused by tightness in your hips and in your glutes. So even though the hips aren't the same thing as loosening up your back, by loosening the hips, you're then helping your back just take a little bit of pressure off of your back. One last thing that's really great to do as well is to use these balls on your glutes. So I recommend just going one at a time for this one. You can lift up and just put the ball underneath the right side of your butt, extend your right leg out, and then you can roll around on this side. Find some spots that feel like a little bit more pressure. That's actually a really good thing. Those are the spots that you want to try to stay on or really roll into so that you can loosen those muscles. A lot of times if you spend a few minutes on each side of your glutes, you're going to feel a lot of low back relief as well. Okay, so those are the exercises that I would do if you're feeling like you've got some low back pain. Again, you can go back to any of these, put them together in any which way that you like. And I recommend doing this if you're having low back pain, especially if you've got a lot of low back pain, then do this several times a day. If you're sort of in a maintenance mode where your back isn't necessarily giving you tons of pain, but you want to make sure that you keep it that way, then I would do this once a day. Okay, hopefully that was helpful.